This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay McLovin and Big Glenn here on the evening recap show. Coming at you live, having a good time. Glenn, how you doing, brother?
Doing fantastic, man. It's a great Friday night, and WWE Friday Night SmackDown just wrapped up on the USA Network.
Nice. And I know our boy Frankie and them were out there. Jacob, I think, was out there at SmackDown, so I know they were loving life. I know Frankie, he loves that SmackDown, so I know he's enjoying it, enjoying his own stuff.
Yeah,
well, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pacers wasn't played tonight, so need a little bit of change of pace.
Hey man, I know.
When all of our guys are hurt and stuff, you know. So
well, hell, half of them in the hospital, probably sharing stories from room to room.
Yeah, they gonna need the Christmas carols at some point, you know. So
man, I'm telling you, I've never seen a team that has just struggled with injuries as much as the Pacers. I don't know what happened, man, but that injury bug is like the flu going around all over the place in your team. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Let's
get into it, man. Let's talk a little bit. I'm going to start off real quick with injuries, since obviously Sunday is coming up, and I don't know if everybody's tracking all the injuries going around the NFL, but we got some pretty significant injuries. Let's start off with the Bengals going against the Steelers right now, and I don't have the actual injuries on them, but I do know Hendrickson is out and Stewart are both out and will not be playing against the Steelers. And you had to think whatever shot the Bengals were going to have in this divisional game have got to be pretty much out the window because they've already got an anemic defense. Not that the Steelers have the best defense, but with this defense already hurting and Joe Burrow, which I don't think is there. Is Joe Burrow playing? Have we gotten an injury update? Is he back or is he still out another game or so?
Not for sure. Don't know. I think he started practicing limited participant in practice this week. I think they're going to try to have him back maybe in time by the end of this month after Thanksgiving. But I think a lot of that really depends on if the Bengals can stay in the playoff contention.
Yeah, because currently on the depth chart, he is still on the injured reserve. So it looks like right now it is going to be Flacco that still gets the start. And like I said a minute ago, Hendrickson and Stewart are both out. I'm pulling up the injury thing right now on Hendrickson, and it looks like it's his hip pelvis. It's a hip pelvis injury. Won't play Sunday, and that's really about all it gives us. But a hip pelvis, that ain't good, Glenn.
No, not at all, man. We just seen Bradley Beal went down with an injury, and that was the hip. And when you talk about hip injuries in professional sports, you know that jacks everything. Your mobility, being able to move around, you know, it's just a bad injury to begin with.
And it looks like Stewart has a knee injury. No other information given. So we'll have to wait and see what that turns into. But right now, both of those defensive studs will not be playing for an already anemic defense by the Bengals. So keep an eye on that. That should be something to watch in the future. But again, the Bengals, it's not like the Bengals are doing anything. This game is really more about the Steelers and keeping their divisional playoffs alive, right? Right now, they're number one in the defense at 5-4, and the Ravens are right there at 4-5. Both of them are playing divisional games. Ravens got the Browns, Steelers got the Bengals. There is a possibility that it could be that we have a tie for first place between the Ravens and the Steelers. So this weekend is a very pivotal Sunday for that division in particular, which is why those injuries are so significant in terms with that. The second one I want to talk to you is Laporta. Laporta has a back issue, so he will not be playing for the Lions going up against the Eagles. And you know that they designed plays specifically for Laporta and how much he means to that offense. So now without Laporta there, you're pretty much relying on St. Brown to be the catalyst on that passing game. And I got to imagine that this bodes well for the Eagles. Not that the Eagles don't have their own issues on that offense with what Barkley, the O-line, and now St. Brown, or not Brown, A.J. Brown are all going through. There's a lot of things going on in that locker room. So how does this Laporta injury, do you think, fares for Detroit? Are they still able to get it? Or do you think that the Eagles are going to pull out, even if it's ugly, when the Eagles get the win?
I think the Lions are going to be just fine. They got a lot of weapons. They got David Montgomery. They got Jameer Gibbs. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. They still got, believe they got Jameson Williams. So I don't think the Lions are going to have much issue getting the ball from the field. It's the Laporta injury. I wouldn't say it's a big issue.
And then the last injury I want to talk about, which I don't think this is going to have an effect on the Broncos as much as it will the fantasy owners. This guy in particular, with J.K. Dobbins. Yes, J.K. Dobbins' foot injury appears to be significant enough that they're looking at 3 starts, possibly a month of missed time. But again, when you got a guy like Harvey that's coming up right behind who has had pretty good success on this team, I don't think it really affects Denver as much as it does, like I said, the fantasy owners. My question to you, Glenn, is you got to think if you're J.K. Dobbins and you're going to miss a month, how does that bode for job security and keeping that starting job if Harvey balls out?
It puts him in danger, that's for sure, man.
I mean, if I'm J.K. Dobbins, I mean, and he's really, really good. But I think that if Harvey balls out, I think we're going to see even more when Dobbins does come back. I think now he's going to lose a lot of reps to Harvey if he balls out. I think they're going to really ride the hot hand there in that game. And whoever has the hot hand, kind of like what they're doing over in Chicago with Swift and Monange, however you say that guy's name. Ben Johnson's already said he's riding the hot hand.
Oh, absolutely. And it's getting good up there with those guys because they got Odunze having good games right now.
Yeah, and if you're a fantasy owner, the last thing you like to see is committees. You like to see a good starting back role, to get those fantasy points. So I never like to see running back by committee, even though it is beneficial for the team. It's not really always beneficial for fantasy owners, and I hate to be, greedy like that, but you know how it is.
It's been running back by committee for my fantasy team since like week freaking 2. I don't know how I managed to stay in the playoff hunt after all that.
Yeah, and it just seems across the NFL as a whole, there's really been a lot of injuries this year. A lot of significant injuries.
I think it's just the way things are, man, and MetLife Stadium, I know it has had issues with the way the field is, so, and Scalabo tore his ankle up on it, I do believe, so.
Yeah, it sucks seeing Scalabo go down. I really love his injury. I mean, his enthusiasm or passion. I don't really love his injury. I don't know why I said that. My bad. But
you probably love his injury because it jacked me up a little. It put me back a couple weeks, but I've recovered enough. So
I really had buyer's remorse when I gave you him for Ertz because I didn't think he was going to play that much of a role. I thought he might be kind of like an every now and then guy. And then when he took off, I was like, man,
it would be me that would give to me somebody decent, then he goes down with injury, but I've recovered enough. So,
well, I told you should have traded him back to me before that injury went down for Ertz. If you'd have done that, you'd have got Ertz back. But you're.
I still got Goddard though. I haven't really needed much because I put in I got Kilo back too. So.
Yeah. And so obviously, and now I see it here. It says left tackle Jackson will play amid the lawsuit allegations for the Rams. So it looks like they're going to be able to keep Jackson in the fold, even though he has that lawsuit going on. So that is good news for the Rams, and probably, I guess, good news for Jackson as well while he goes to that lawsuit. So
absolutely. Yeah. I'm sure he may have a suspension pending from the league because you know how the commissioner is. They'll do their own investigation to decide if he's going to be serving any game number of game suspensions.
And also, since we're talking about injuries, there is one good note for us Cowboys guys. It looks like on Monday against the Raiders that we will get some defensive help. It looks like we're going to get the Marvion Overshawn. I never can say that guy's name
Overshawn.
right. Basically, we're getting Overshawn back, and we're also getting cornerback Siobhan Ravel Jr., that rookie that we drafted. We'll be getting him back. Also, again, we're going to be having Quinyon Williams and linebacker Logan Wilson available for this game. So we're going to be getting a lot of defensive help because you know how bad we've been on defense, Glenn. We're going to get a lot of defensive help. Not that we really need it. I don't think so much against the Raiders, but I think in future games after the Raiders, this should play. And I think this is a really good tune-up game to see what we have in those guys before we start facing more of the divisional components and things of that nature as we get more into the season.
Who do we play on Thanksgiving? Do we play Washington again?
That's a good question.
Or is that Kansas City?
I can tell you that right now. It looks like we have. So we got Vegas, obviously, and then we get Philly on the 23rd.
That's just something for Thanksgiving as the division.
And then we get Kansas City on the 27th.
Yep,
both of those are at home games.
Yeah, that Chiefs game Thanksgiving. I figured out it was the Chiefs. I just couldn't remember if it was the Chiefs or the Commanders. I almost said the Redskins.
Oh, hey, listen. President Trump says it's the Redskins. I'm going to say it's the Redskins. Hell with it.
Shit, yeah.
Hey, what did you think about St. Brown having to apologize for doing the Trump dance in the end zone? I loved it. I was like, why are you giving this guy such a hard time? I mean, come on, have fun, right?
Isn't the Trump dance the same thing as the Pee Wee Herman dance or whatever? I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just is one of those things, man. I don't have a problem with it. I don't know why anybody else should have a damn problem with it. I mean, why are we getting so damn political? Let the man have some fun. He even said if it was a different president, whatever dance they did, he'd do that dance too. So, I mean, come on. Let's just have some fun and not get so damn worked up over a damn celebration in the end zone. Let the man have some fun. Come on. I ain't got a problem with it. Moving on real quick though. The title of the show.
Hey, before we continue, Chris did tell Inbox about 7 minutes ago, said he's on his way home, and if we're still on, he'll be on. So he's probably out door dashing.
Hey, gotta make that money, killer. I wish he'd come DoorDash me some free food. I'm tired of paying all this DoorDash money. Yeah,
I stay away. I try to stay away from that. I think I may get Uber Eats or DoorDash maybe once a month, and it's usually on I buy one get one free deal.
Why are you even doing Uber Eats anyway? You live in like the downtown Indy area. You can't tell me there's not a crap ton of restaurants or dives or whatever around where you live that you just can't take a little stroll over there too. Come on,
I rather have some of the stuff that's on Uber Eats than some of the stuff that's near me.
Is it that bad?
Money wise, it could be like I could save about 10.
Oh, so you're saying that the restaurants around you are fairly expensive?
Yeah, they can be. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is downtown. I don't know if anything's ever cheap in the downtown or even a midtown type of environment.
The only thing I jack with that's even on my block is Dollar General. So you know where that's at.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. How about that Dollar General, baby? Because if you want a budget, Dollar General will save your butt. I can tell you that for a fact.
It saves my butt.
I love Dollar General.
I
don't care what they say though. I go to the Dollar General. I ain't never think nothing just for $1. I'm still waiting for a dollar, on there. I always say it's like a $2, $3. I thought it was Dollar General. I thought we were supposed to pay $1. I don't get the whole Dollar General, but it's still cheap, so I'm still going to buy there.
Oh, absolutely, because the grocery store that's by me is pretty expensive, so it's actually a real grocery store. So yeah,
nice. No, it's not a real grocery store unless they sell beer. Let's be honest.
They got one hell of a selection over there, Jay. You probably would like it. Yeah.
Good times. All right, look, I want to talk about this Penix thing, and then when Gonza makes it in here, I will circle back and get his thoughts on it. But here's the deal: I want to read something super quick. Let me pull it up super fast, and I want to get your opinion on what I'm about to read. And it goes like this. Now, obviously, anybody who saw the press conference that Michael Penix gave, the reporter asked him, so who do you lean on when you need advice or when you need support or whatever? And he clearly comes out and says, well, I go to my girlfriend, or I guess he said fiance, or I turn to my former coaches in college, things of that nature. He never says anything. Hey, let me call you right back. He never says anything about Atlanta coaching staff specifically, or players, or Kirk Cousins. He says nobody. Now, that's what he said. Now, I exaggerate a little bit, but he was a very more calm and stoic way of saying it. But that's the gist of it. Here's what I pick away from it. Man, why is it doing that now?
The band's independent.
Okay, so this is what Raheem Morris when he chimed in on it. This is what Raheem Morris says. Stop looking for stuff on a young man, Morris said Friday. You don't need this stuff on him. It is what it is, but all those things people do, it doesn't matter to affect this building, which is kind of weird how he said that, but okay. And then he goes on to say, I just feel bad for the kid. I don't want the kid having to deal with stuff that doesn't matter or stuff that's not real. Let his problems be his problems. Like third downs, let's fix those. Don't make up a thing that doesn't exist. Now, let me think for a minute. Let his problems be his problems. He feels bad for the kid having to deal with stuff that doesn't matter. Are you telling me that him not having your support doesn't matter? Is that what we're saying?
I don't think
it's crazy. Don't you think that's kind of crazy?
Kinda, but like I feel like Michael Penix is the kind of guy that would take care of his problems on his own time, and doesn't need too many support systems in that way. So to be successful.
But it just sounds the way Raheem is saying it.
Yeah,
that they don't give him the support. I mean, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
That's just a really weird way to say something like that.
It really is, but like I'm not sure if Raheem Morris is the kind of guy that who's using his words correctly. I don't know if he's understand what he's really trying to convey. So,
and then let's see here.
We'll see how this turns out. Don't get us wrong, So it's possible.
Bo's in the house.
Yeah, Bo's in the building. Mr. Seattle man.
So Bo says that sure sounds like they don't have his back. Yeah, Bo. That's my point. You don't come out and say let his problems be his problems. No, that's your quarterback. That's your dude. That's who your ride or die. And you want to tell me that let his problems be his problem? That does not sound like somebody who's given support. He goes on to say, well, you got Yates and you got Kirk Cousins and all these offensive coordinators and this, that he can go to. It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it. If that was the case, Penix would have said, no, I have a great support system. But the fact that Penix doesn't say that tells you that he doesn't. And the fact that Raheem comes out and says that at a press conference, that almost makes me believe that he doesn't have it and that what he's saying is actually correct. And if it is correct, what the hell? No wonder. That's why I feel like Atlanta is so dysfunctional, because none of them come out and say, we got his back. We had these conversations. Now, what it does say in the article is that Raheem Morris says that him and Penix joke about it at practice now. Like, how does that work? Hey, Penix. Hey, man, I heard you don't have nobody to help you. I mean, like, what are they joking about? How do you even joke about something like that?
Yeah, exactly. And see, it's one of those kind of things. Is it more of like you know how if you've ever watched the 85 Bears documentary, Buddy Ryan, how he was with his military mind and how he come across. I wonder if it's kind of like a situation like that, or Raheem Morris is coming off like an asshole, and saying
Yeah.
smart ass, and Penix is just, laughing it off, but it should be taken more serious than what it's coming off as.
It goes further. Let me
Oh,
let
it
me give
does.
you let me give you this one little tidbit. Penix was asked Friday to clarify what he meant during the news conference, but he declined, saying everyone in the Falcons facility knows the truth.
Oh shit. Yeah.
That's what he
That's,
says. Everybody in the facility knows the truth.
yeah, I'm sure you know the truth, all right.
Yeah.
Good
Bo goes
Lord.
on to say there's a reason that team isn't great despite having a solid roster. I agree. Because if you're not supporting the field general of your team, you damn sure aren't supporting anybody else. And if
Hell
you don't have
no.
a good, again, it goes back to culture versus talent. Penix has the talent, but I don't think he has the culture around him. And again, Tony said this on the afternoon show a while back that he felt what is more important, culture or talent? And I think we
Culture.
have seen, and I think Bo will tell you that you need to have the culture. The culture is more important than the talent because like he said, there's a solid lineup, there's a solid roster on the Atlanta Falcons, but for some reason they can't get that talent to be productive on the field. And then you hear what Penix is saying about not having support. That's saying that he doesn't have a good culture. So even though you have the talent, you're not able to do a damn thing with the talent because you don't have the culture from the top all the way down to the field general. That is a
Yep.
significant issue to me.
And Bo's gonna love this answer and analogy I'm gonna use for this. Who has a great culture and has a great system? The Seattle Mariners.
I agree with that. I think
They all
elaborate
they,
on that.
like I feel like they got a good team. Everybody likes everybody, and the freaking city's behind them. Like when they went up against Toronto in the ALCS, man, holy shit!
Right.
Yeah, you can tell that those guys gave a shit about each other.
Let's take it one step further on the culture versus talent topic. Look at Vrabel. Vrabel went to
Yep.
a team that had zero, and they drafted extremely well. They brought in some good free agents to fill in the gaps. And you see Vrabel out there with his players, physically showing them drills, going through drills. You can see that he has installed a culture that is amazing on that football team. And you can see it resonate because they are doing a lot with the little. And what I mean by a little is I'm talking about experience. They have a lot of talent, but they don't have a lot of experience on that team. But for some reason, with the little bit of experience they do have, they had the best record in the NFL. Now you can make the case, well, Jay, they don't have, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? My mind went blank. I had a good thought and then it kind of went blank on me. But you can make the argument that they don't have all the talent, or that's what I was. You can make the argument that they don't have a good schedule, that their schedule's a little weak. But you can say, though, that they beat Buffalo in Buffalo. They beat Tampa. And then if they were able to beat Buffalo again at home in New England, I mean, that's all the credibility you need. But look at a team like New England who went from 0 to 100, having the best damn team out there, and maybe not all the solid lineup that, let's say, maybe Atlanta has. But why can't Atlanta do that? What am I missing in the couple of years that Raheem Morris has been there versus the 1 year that Vrabel's been there?
Maybe Raheem Morris, maybe Raheem Morris ain't the guy. And this question was posed to us. I can't remember if it was you, Jay, or Chris, about Raheem Morris maybe not lasting through the season. And
so Bo goes on to say, actually, let me go back up one. Okay, yeah, solid roster. Okay, and then Bo goes on to say they have a good culture, but this is the first year they have had owner support, which is also important. I agree. Look, you want to know how? Look at the Cowboys. If you want to talk about an owner who doesn't give a damn, and look where we are. Yep. Look at Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft is amazing. I wish I had an owner like Robert Kraft. Or even the Irsay daughters or the Irsay team over in Indy, like what you guys got. That's example of good ownership, creating the culture through the GM, down to the coach, and into the players. And that's the key. And I think that's what Bo was talking about.
Yep. You know what sucks though? On the Irsay part of it, is that kind of sucks that Jim Irsay had to pass away for this to take place, But sometimes life runs its course and things happen the way they do, so.
I wish I could say that if Jerry Jones passed away, that maybe we could have something like that. But I already know Steven. I already know Steven is going to be probably a clone of his daddy. So we're going to get about another 20 years. So I'll probably be at 50 years of no Super Bowl. I'll probably be dead by then, or maybe I'll probably be 75 and a wheelchair by the time the Cowboys sniff the Super Bowl. To be honest with you, with our ownership.
You'll be Bob Lilly old by the time you just see no Super Bowl.
It's sad too, man. Do you know? I mean, seriously, we took the star from being something. I mean, really, people used to revere and people used to be scared of the star back in the 90s when they would have to go up against us. Now we're just a laughing stock. The star is nothing more than a damn laughing stock. You know what it is? You get a concussion and you see Dallas.
Yep.
That's the star you see. Seriously, it's crazy to me. His daughter is killing it with Bo, she is killing it out there.
I live in Indy, Bo. I'm sure you already know that. So I've seen a lot of how she's run it. And like when they went out to Germany last weekend, man, they pretty much took over Germany. Well, Berlin, the city of downtown Berlin. I ain't trying to get into anything like political or that way, but yeah.
It just blows my mind. Raheem, he has like Bo said, he has all the talent there. But if you're not going to support your quarterback, I don't know how in the hell, you can expect to do anything or be successful as a head coach. And maybe he's not meant to be a head coach. Maybe he's just better as a coordinator. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it sounds like he doesn't convey his words properly to where you don't have situations like this. That is the vibe that I'm getting from what Roy are talking about as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
not a good. What I'm trying to say is he's not a good communicator.
Yeah, and I really feel bad, and I feel bad for the players. I feel bad for guys like Raheem. I mean, not Raheem. For like Michael Penix is. I feel bad for Bijan Robinson. And those guys Drake London, who have all the talent in the world, but just don't have the support or the culture to do something with it. I mean, I almost feel like how long as a player, especially as a running back, because of their longevity is not that long. And you figure I've only got so many years in the NFL to be competing at a high level. How long do I really want to waste on this type of franchise before I say, you know what? Nah, I'm going someplace like a Saquon Barkley, for example, leaves the Giants, goes to Philly, gets a Super Bowl, even though I know Philly is having their problems now, but goes on and does get the ultimate prize that all competitors go for, which is a Super Bowl. How long does Bijan Robinson give this franchise before he says, you know what, my career is only this long and I want to make the most of it, and I'm not going to waste my time on a culture that's not going to A, support me, or B, put out a competitive product? How long does he before he moves on?
If I'm Bijan, at this point, I'm probably looking for an exit door to get on the other team or find a way to another team.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Bo goes on to say they also forget Bijan is on the roster half the time. I agree 100%. He goes on to say on the plus side, his limited touch is probably it probably does extend your career. I mean, if you're not getting hit, you're probably right. But at the same time, look, if I come into the league as a running back, I probably have 3 goals. And it's probably going to go into this. It's probably going to go in this number. Number one, I want to secure a good contract so I know I got some money in the bank for after I leave the game. So I probably want to get my money first, right? And it doesn't have to be a lot, but I mean, it depends on how much money you think you need to live on, right? Me, coming from my background, I could live on this much if I had to. But maybe from their perspective, being a star, having fame, maybe they need a little bit more, whatever the case may be. But I'm trying to get the money first. I'm probably looking for the Super Bowl ring next. And then I want to get to the Hall of Fame last. And I feel like the Super Bowl is going to support the Hall of Fame. Those are probably my 3 goals in life: to get the money, to get the ring, and to get the Hall of Fame. Now, you can get the money from Atlanta, but I don't think you're going to get the Super Bowl, nor do I think – well, you can probably still get to the Hall of Fame. Even without a ring, if he has a good career, he might be able to get there. But like Bo said, if you're only playing half the time, then you're only getting half the reps, and then that can impact your Hall of Fame chances. I don't know. I just feel like if I'm a running back and I know that my lifespan is not that long, I'm trying to get that damn Super Bowl by all means necessary. And if I got to go to a different franchise that's going to support me, then so be it. I just wonder how long Bijan lasts there, or how long Michael Penix will stay in an environment where he's not supported. How long do you think he stays there?
Probably not long. Imagine if Bijan went to the Rams. But there's your NFC champion.
Oh man, I'm trying to think, where would Bijan go that needs a running back and doesn't necessarily have one? What team? Bo, put that in chat group. What team do you think Bijan would have a good chance at to compete for a ring that needs a strong running back?
I feel like the Rams would. Like, I know they got.
But they already got Kyron Williams, though. I mean, he's doing a good job for them, isn't he?
But he's not doing anything like spectacular, like the numbers that Bijan's putting up. I mean,
but I don't know that he has to, though. I mean, they have a great wide receiving core there. They got a great quarterback. They got a great defense. I mean, they have all the pieces. Do they really need that running back to carry the full load on that team, or just a running back that can get enough yards to open up the offense for everybody else?
Hey, we would be tickling Frankie's fancy in that way if we said the Patriots and the Patriots.
Oh, if they man, could you imagine?
It'd be like when the Patriots got that guy from Cincinnati.
But I don't even think they need him, though. The Patriots don't need him. They got Stevenson and they got Travion Henderson, who just had 2 touchdowns on Thursday against a pretty. No, actually I can't say because they got rid of most of their defensive guys. But regardless, Henderson is still. I mean, they have 2 good running backs. Who else?
Yeah,
who else do you think they would have?
Hold on. Houston.
The Bears got one. Houston might, because how long is Mixon? I mean, Mixon's still out on injury.
Yeah, but see, I think he would bear a lot of the blow, though. I think he's going to need to be on a team that has a good passing game as well. Cowboys, but I feel like that's a lot of remove, though.
But honestly, even the Cowboys with Williams there from Denver, that he's been running the ball well.
Yeah. I feel like Cowboys would be like a louder move because you're going from one dysfunctional franchise to another, and maybe even worse because of Jerry's looking ass, you know.
I mean, because if you look at it, New England has good running backs, Buffalo has good running backs, Miami has Ashney, which is doing a good job. Jets got Breece Hall.
Those teams ain't going. Yeah, you put him on there, they still ain't gonna do shit.
I would say no. You don't want to. Nobody wants to go to Tennessee, so we'll leave that one alone.
Minnesota, probably. If they got,
you know who it is? No, I got it. You know who could use him? Kansas City.
Oh shit!
Because they got Pacheco.
Don't even joke about that.
They got Pacheco and they got Hunt, but neither one of them can run the ball worth a damn. So I think Bijan. Could you imagine Bijan on Kansas City?
I don't want to think about it because somebody's gonna find this video and somebody gonna get it to Andy Reid or the Lamar Hunt family, and they're gonna go sign his ass. they're gonna win another 4 Super Bowls.
Now, Bo does go on to say the Ravens because the contract will end about the time Henry's does, and I can see the Ravens because the Ravens are a running team. But again, I mean,
that would be a match made in heaven, though, too.
It would because if you're wanting to run the ball a lot, but then again, how much does Lamar eat into that running a little bit with either design runs or him scrambling?
Yeah,
I really think. I mean, this is just my opinion, but I think Kansas City. I mean, because now you got a run game to go, which is going to open up the game even more so for Rashee Rice and Kelsey and company. I mean, I really think you put Bijan on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm serious. I would rock with that team. I would.
I ain't trying to think about that.
Man, I'm telling you, right? I mean, dang gum, man.
I know exactly what would happen too.
Minnesota, they have Jones, Tampa, but Tampa has Bucky Irving, Carolina, but they got Chupa Hubbard. Maybe New Orleans, because how much
They
longer
got
is
a quarterback.
Kamara going to last?
They ain't got a quarterback though.
That's the downside to them, right? But I think by the time Bijan's contract comes to an end, maybe they will have solidified that in the draft, and maybe who knows? I mean, I don't. Right now they're at 2-8 New Orleans. Could they be in the running for a Mendoza that comes out of Indiana? And could you imagine a Mendoza along with a Bijan Robinson and Olave as your number one wide receiver? And Kellen Moore, that'd be a hell of a good offensive coordinator to be with.
You know the most famous thing of all time, man, came out of Indiana, not Indiana University, but Indiana as far as state, is Drew Brees at Purdue University. So hey, they could bridge the gap in that way.
Now staying with football, let's slide over real quick to the to college football, and let's talk about the Penn State coaching vacancy that they're trying to fill. They wanted to go for Matt Rule, they wanted to go for your boy Signetti, but obviously both of those guys have linked their extensions, so now they're out of the running. So who does that leave left? And Penn State obviously is there to slide into, and apparently they do have interest in DABOLL, and they also have interest in a couple of other coaching candidates. But you got to remember, DABOLL came out of the Alabama. I think he was a coordinator at Bama in 2017.
Yeah.
Bo goes on to say DABOLL. Yeah. But think about it. I mean, look, head coach didn't work out too well from the Giants. Could he go to college and try to reinvent himself in college? Now, Bo, I think Bo talked about this earlier on the Coast to Coast show, where you only really kind of get two bites at the apple in terms of being a head coach, and he kind of did one already with the Giants. So the next one has to be a success, or then people start kind of shying away from you as a head coach, and maybe then he only gets regulated to a coordinator spot after that. But they said, let's see here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me see here. Okay. So DABOLL was an offensive coordinator for Bama in 2017 when the Crimson Tide won the national title, and reportedly has interest in getting back into the college game. So DABOLL has said he has interest in getting into the college game. He's never been a head coach in college, despite his track record as an assistant. Now, the other names, to be fair, that are in consideration for the Penn State job are Georgia Tech's Brent Kelly, James Madison's Bob Chesney, Oregon's offensive coordinator Will Stein, and Ohio State's offensive coordinator Brian Hartline, and former Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald. Now, they did say Penn State came out and said when you fire a guy like James Franklin, you better nail his replacement. So they got to nail it. They feel like they have to nail it after they fired Franklin. So, I mean, would you extend it? I mean, I would definitely bring DABOLL in for an interview and see how that pans out.
Yeah, I feel like DABOLL would be definitely a great option, because I feel like he would be a great college coach, because, we've seen like how Nick Saban wasn't too good of an NFL coach, but once he went back to college after his stint in Miami, I mean, dude became the greatest college coach of all time, surpassing Bear Bryant. So I can see DABOLL doing something similar, maybe not going on like a Nick Saban run, but a good enough run to warrant a head coaching gig and a long-term deal.
Yeah. So as you know, the NBA, we're going to slide over real quick, and we're going to wrap it up just with a little bit of NBA talk, and then we're out of here. As you know, the NBA Cup is currently going on, and I'm just going to give you a rundown of the scores real quick. Bucks are over the Hornets right now, 140-134, and that game has a minute 23 left into overtime. So it looks like Bucks are in, or at least got a 6-point advantage right now as that quarter gets closer to an end. Then you got the Mavericks and the Clippers. Clippers are killing the Mavericks right now, 101-89, with just a little bit over 9 minutes left to go in the fourth. Now, here's a good game. Warriors and Spurs. Right now, Warriors are up on the Spurs 43-38 with a minute 45 left to go in the second. You can watch that game on Prime Video. Knicks beat the Heat 140-132. Magic beat the Nets 105-98. Pistons beat the Sixers.
No surprise.
105, and we'll talk about that game here in just a sec. The Rockets beat the Trailblazers 140-116. Timberwolves beat the Kings 124-110, and the Lakers beat the Pelicans 118-104. Now, my question to you is: the Sixers started out really quick in that first 5 or 6 games in the season, and since then they've kind of tapered down a little bit. And the Pistons, who have the #1 record in the East right now, even though I know it's early, are really kind of showing who they are. How much, number one, what do you think about the Sixers? And number two, what do you think about the emergence of the Pistons?
So my thing with the Sixers is I've watched basketball quite heavily, and Sixers, are gonna have issues with injuries. You're gonna have Joel Embiid. He's gonna go down with injuries at some point this year. It's been a given since he's stepped foot into the NBA. Same with Paul George. They'll tread water and do well, but I don't consider them ever a threat in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, even if they get somehow end up with a high seed, which this could be a year that they would get a high seed, but I don't see them doing jack shit with it. Sorry, Philly sports guy, if he ends up watching this. But,
I love how you throw it straight. Bo, did you get that? I know you're about to get out of here. By the way, Bo, man, appreciate you showing some love and hanging out with us this evening, man.
Yeah.
But man, Philly sports guy catching strays, man.
Yeah.
Catching some strays.
Well, we were on topic, but it just facts, man. I feel more confident about his Philadelphia Eagles potentially being a repeat Super Bowl champion than I would be the Sixers getting out of the first round, but he probably knows that and has come to accept that.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Especially with the personnel that they have. But as far as Detroit is concerned, I'm not surprised that they got the best team or the best record in the Eastern Conference.
Right. Now, I'm not either. I mean, that team has quietly been assembling a roster over there that looks really, really nice. Really nice. Interestingly enough, I was talking about earlier about how the Rockets, were they basically start their rebuild about the same time as Detroit did. And look where these two teams are in their rebuilds. You got Detroit right now at the top of their division looking amazing. And you got the Rockets probably going to be in the 3rd spot at some point, if not the second spot at some point in this season. I don't think they're going to quite catch OKC. OKC is just incredibly difficult unless OKC runs into some injuries. I think it's going to be the Rockets probably fighting for that number 2 spot at some point. But I got to tell you, man, Kevin Durant, I don't care what. I know Frankie doesn't like Kevin Durant. I know Frankie doesn't want Kevin Durant on his team, this, that, and the other. I don't care. I'll take Kevin Durant. I'll take Kevin Durant all damn day. I need the Kevin Durant that was with Golden State when he got the MVP and he didn't have to be the leader. I need that Kevin Durant, and it looks like that's what I have so far. Now, again, this is young in the season, but Kevin Durant is averaging damn near 30 points a night right now for the Rockets. I mean, he is on 12 of 19 shooting.
I saw him take on Oklahoma City opening night right before they played us. Oklahoma played us, and that dude looked like prime Kevin Durant. That dude can still go. He could definitely get you guys where you want to be.
Absolutely, and the biggest thing that I've seen in the Rockets this year that is really, I think it's going to be a huge X factor. I'm going to call it the X factor. The biggest X factor for Houston is their bench. And Reed Shepherd off the bench is averaging amazing. Like tonight he had 13 points, but typically, and even tonight we had 33 points off the bench. We've been averaging anywhere between 25 and 35 points off the bench on a nightly basis. Now, when you're getting those kinds of minutes and you're getting that kind of production off of your bench, by the way, Steven Adams has been averaging close to 10 rebounds off the bench. Just that alone is amazing. He is. I have him on my
NBA My Team, man, and I will always start that dude every day of the week.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but just between Sagoon and Adams, they're averaging 25 plus rebounds a night between the two of them combined. I mean, that's a lot of production.
those are two freaking paint generals and rebound savants right there.
No doubt, no doubt. And I think that's the biggest thing that I'm noting about Houston is, number one, they have an outstanding bench that can score at will, and then they also have they've really incorporated Kevin Durant into their offense in such a way that he is able to do what benefits him the best and the team the best, which is just score, get your rebounds, get some assists, and then just play within the offense. You don't got to be the leader. You just go out there and play basketball, KD, and everything else will take care of itself. And when he gets put in that, he's free. I think the pressure is off of him. He plays free. He doesn't play tight, and you're seeing that in this team. Every night you're seeing it.
Yeah, they don't have Dylan Brooks as the boneheaded dumbass doing stupid shit either.
The only thing that I miss about not having Dylan Brooks, and I've said this before, was I feel like he's that guy that can disrupt. Everybody needs to have a disruptor. The Bulls had it with Rodman. The Warriors had it with Draymond Green. And, those teams have always had really well, because you can take on the court that messes with you in your mind, gets in your mind, gets, whatever. Defensively, Dylan Brooks was amazing. Offensively, but defensively, and then, like I said, being that disruptor in the game, that's what he was good at. And we kind of missed that. But at the same time, what we got in return is far greater than what we gave up. So I'll take that every day of the week. I really will, man. I'll take it every day of the week, man.
So I was watching him during that Phoenix Pacers game last night. Man, he was just overdoing it. It was comical, to say the least.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, all right, folks. I wanted to keep it about 45 minutes tonight, about 46 and some change. I think we did pretty good. We got through everything I wanted to get through. Big Glenn, is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about this evening?
Lord help the Pacers.
They will be in my prayers.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Jay. You're a good man.
I do what I can. Don't ask me to pray for the Lakers, because I won't do it.
Shit, I wouldn't either. They can go, I'm not going to go there, but you already get the point.
Oh, I got it. It hit me right in the forehead and stuck there. And then later on tonight, before I go to bed, I'm going to have Melanie take it out.
Yep.
If you like tonight's show, man, if you enjoyed me and Glenn's commentary and what we brought to the show tonight, give us a subscribe. We always appreciate anybody that can give us some subscribes, because those really do help us out. It helps our content out, helps us get more content out to you guys. And we do appreciate everybody that stopped by this evening, Bo and Frankie and all them. I mean, we appreciate everybody that stopped by and chatted with us a little bit. And if you want to catch us again, we may be going to Tuesdays and Thursdays, more to follow. Until then, we will still be on the Mondays and Fridays at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And we absolutely appreciate everybody that came in here this evening. We do have one new content coming in at the end of the show, folks. It's nothing but our boy Frankie. If I can get that comment to come up. Pats win yesterday. Lakers win tonight. Bama tomorrow. Let's get a good weekend. Screw Bama.
Nobody gives a shit.
Screw the Pikes. Screw the Lakers. But I love you, Frankie. And your boy Jay and Big
South
Glenn.
Bay Lakers, baby.
South Bay